Welcome back to None of Your Business. Today's episode, we are going to talk about the worst breakup of your life. Rashad, have you ever had frenemy in your life?
Yeah,
Yeah?
definitely.
But how did you find out?
It just happened, I guess.
It just happened that you find out.
Yeah. Like it was definitely during my teenage years lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but not now. Not
No,
after
not now.
teenage. Okay. Do you have a boundary or why?
Yeah, I guess boundaries just in terms of values.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you grow older, they got different directions in life,
Okay.
different opinions, and yeah.
Okay. So yeah, today we're going to talk about the worst breakup of your life. But it is not about the guy or the girl who cheated on you or the mutual parting of ways with people or an ex that you have in your life. I'm talking about the breakup that actually breaks our heart for a long time. I mean, actually to me, yes. Shatter your nervous system as well. So for a long time, I've experienced this with my friends. So I have broken up with one of my best friends, and it took me quite some time to actually get over it. But yeah, people have to go, just have to go, right? So the one you still think about in the shower, the one that made you question your own reality, I'm going to talk about the female friendship breakup today, or worse, the friend who never actually left, but slowly turned into your biggest enemy or competitor behind of you. So Rashad, have you experienced that people backstab you before?
I wouldn't say so, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you didn't know?
I'm a pretty nice guy,
Maybe you didn't know.
Maybe I didn't know, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's better that you don't know, right? Sometimes, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
the unspoken secret in female psychology is actually called frenemy. So that's what we are going to talk about today.
Okay.
So society loves to push the narrative of sugar, spice, and everything nice about female especially. So we always talk about women are often very collaborative, we are very nurturing and universally supportive among each other, right? So like sister, we always talk about sisterhood, and I really love my best friend and stuff like that. So I memang love my best friend, honestly. So, but my best friend is after some kind of selections. So today we are going to talk about the science behind of it, why frenemy could happen, and how you can tackle it to not become one, or you can leave them to not become their gang or like being the victim of the frenemy group. So sometimes we feel like, oh, this is kind of crazy, and you feel a massive amount of shame. You think like, what's wrong with me? Is it I did something wrong? I said something wrong? Or am I too sensitive? Or am I making this up? Actually, sometimes it's definitely not our fault when this happened. So the act that we're talking about today is the evolutionary biology of covert warfare. It sounds very complicating, yeah, because when I see it, I'm like, what does it even mean? So to understand why women can be so devastatingly cruel to each other, or without even raising their voices, they can be mean sometimes. We have to look backwards, actually, how the tribe used to be for men and women, right? So men usually fighting against each other just by having force, fighting with feast, or like the hierarchy of the generation, stuff like that, right? So men always compete in that sense, but women fought through, it's very different. So we don't do the physical thing. That's why it started with psychology. Shazad, have you ever experienced that women fight with you through psychology?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, not like using hand at all?
No.
But how?
With their words,
With it? Oh, okay. That sounds interesting.
When they say they're fine, they're not.
What?
When they say they're fine or it's okay, I know it's the opposite lah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. So I think that is not kind of like manipulative. It's just more of like they are not expressing well enough for
Yeah,
you, right?
yeah.
So they are putting in like a good manners, but inside of them actually not feeling so good,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So if a woman got physically injured in a fight over resources, she actually couldn't gather food and she couldn't protect her children. That's why her survival mood will be activated and her genetic line will be affected if she doesn't do so. So depend on her staying physically intact also. So but women still had to compete. We still had to fight for the best mates. Like we wanted to marry to strong, nice looking people and the best food that we could get, and being the highest social standing in the tribe. Always it means that you have status, and when status come in, it means safety. So you have the best safety net for yourself. So women often come across a bit mean to each other is because of that. So they are fighting for the tribe and also fighting for safetyness. So one of these quote that my friend said before that I still remember until today. So he said something like, women just look for two things. One is security. Second is respect. That's it. He's like, actually super simple. It's just two things. I'm like, wow, actually it is. Conclude everything already, right? The safety and also, what is it?
Security and respect.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of true, right? When you think
Yeah.
about it, a lot of aspect. Like when they say, oh yeah, I'm fine. But actually inside of them, they just feel like, oh, you need to respect me, like that,
Yeah.
right? But they don't want to say it. Please respect me.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. So the next time you feel like completely drained after interacting with your frenemy, no matter you're a man or woman, what is actually happening, basically using science to explain, is about your nervous system is exhausted because you just survived a biological battlefield with women, basically. But men, maybe it involves physical as well. So it's quiet, it is covert, and it's ruthless. So the neuroscience of the silent treatment today we are talking about also, that Rashad have mentioned.
Yeah, I want to know about that. I want to know why that thing even exists in the first place.
I think it's pretty interesting because men and women think totally different, right? So today we are going to talk about what is the science backed about this. Why is it so hard to guess what is the woman talking about, or why is she doing this? Why is she backlash me, or she just ignore me? Now, we're gonna talk about why it hurts so badly, because the pain of the female betrayer is visceral. It sits heavy in your chest, it makes your stomach drop. For decades, women who complain about being excluded or bullied by other women always told that they are too much or too sensitive, or just brush it off, you've been too much, stop being so dramatic and stuff like that. But neuroscientists finally looked inside of the brain to see what actually happens when something like we are facing about socially rejected by our peers. We're gonna decode like, how do you actually feel after you are socially rejected today by our peers, and we will feel extra hurt. Why is this happening? So there's a region in your brain called anterior cingulate cortex. It's very complex, you don't have to know about the name. Its primary job is to process physical pain. So if you burn your hand today on a hot stove, or if you break your leg, or your anterior cortex actually lights up. So basically this cortex is gonna feel pain because it will light up your fMRI scan like a Christmas tree. So the Christmas tree in your brain will light up and screaming at you to fix the damage or to leave immediately, because when you touch it, of course, it's gonna be painful. So you will just leave your hand immediately. So scientists find that this simulated social exclusion essentially is stimulating the same feeling of being left out in a group or a game by your peers. It's the same feeling as you physically burn. Pretty interesting, right? So in conclusion, the feeling of you having a broken bone is actually same as the broken bond with your friend. So the toxic friend who you left out, or she left you out, give you the silent treatment, turns the group against you, or your nervous system process it as a literal physical injury in that case. And why? Because back in those cavewoman days, we talk about being excluded from the tribe meant that you were going to starve to death or getting eaten by the predator. So in a way that you are feeling like you're being excluded, but also being killed maybe, right, inside of your heart. So your brain has not updated its software since then in the tribe time. So you are still feeling the same way as the cavewoman back then. So I want you to hear this loud and clear today. When you're crying over a toxic friendship, you're not weak. It's just your brain is having a massive pain response to a perceived survivor threat. So you need time to get over, to feel that you're surviving again. You have to treat that psychological wound with an exact same gravity as you would to a physical one. The success penalty and the neuroscience of envy. Today, I'm going to talk about envious and about jealousy. I'm so excited because I always wanted to decode this thing, and I don't understand basically why people will feel jealous or envy in a way, right? I don't really think that since young. Like, I never really jealous or envy people. Maybe I will feel like, oh, she's so pretty, but it's not like,
She's so pretty.
you know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had that feeling of like envy?
Of envy?
Envious? Yeah.
Yeah, I did for sure. I mean, I have siblings.
Oh, okay. So like if they get something more, then you feel like, why is he or she
definitely.
getting more? Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay. That could be part of it. Yeah. I think I did too. Yeah, within my family more. Like when my brother gets something more, I'm like, why is he getting this more?
Because we always compare ourselves with them, right?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. I think it's more of like, I do it more in my family, but when to outside people, I don't really feel that
not
way.
really. Yeah.
That's pretty unfair, huh? Now I think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this brings us to the most confusing part of the frenemy dynamic, which is the success penalty. If you're watching this today, you might be one of the women who is doing the work. Starting a business, healing your trauma, going to the gym, or setting the boundaries yourself. And I can almost guarantee that the most of you moment started leveling up yourself. A close friend suddenly got weird. Is it? Or you don't have it. That's the best situation, actually. Maybe she started making passive-aggressive jokes about your new diet. Maybe she diminished your wins by saying, oh, it must be nice to have those. This is called the tall poppy syndrome. Wow, it's actually a name. I didn't know.
There's a term for it. Huh?
It's called tall poppy syndrome. The cultural phenomenon where people attack those who stand out. Wow. But let's look at the hard neuroscience of why your friend is doing this. Now, it comes down to two biological glitches. So the first one is called the zero-sum bias and the amygdala hack. So amygdala is part of our brain, and we're gonna dig into it a little bit. When you significantly improve your life, you're changing the hierarchy of the friendship in a way. For a friend who is deeply insecure, your success instantly triggers her amygdala, the fear and the threat center of her brain. Humans possess a cognitive blind spot called zero-sum bias. Her brain subconsciously registers your growth not as your own isolated achievement, but as a sudden drop in her own social status. So it's actually her amygdala telling her, your status just dropped a little bit because she's better than you. Something like that. So her biology panics. She feels like your success is a direct threat to my survival, triggering a cortisol spike that makes her lash out defensively. So that is why she started to feel like, why is she better than me? Why her life is better? Why she looks better than me? Everything like that just flushed into her mind. So the dopamine of scan the fruit. Okay, I have no idea what's that. That's the second theory. When she looks at your new life, she experiences upward social comparison, which neuroimaging shows actually activates the pain center in her brain. So envious literally hurts her in a way. But here's the dark part, where she throws a backhanded compliment your way and brings you down a peg. It triggers a release of dopamine in her brain's reward center.
Wow. Interesting.
Interesting.
I think we've all experienced that before, right?
I think so too.
Somebody's failure is somebody's success story.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, inside the brain, the reward system actually feel that way. It's like, she's not that pretty, and then she instantly feel better. Oh my god. Okay. So now we are understanding her biology, but doesn't mean you have to be her punching back, honestly. So that's what I have been doing. I've been securing myself by having these strong boundaries because I don't want to put this thing inside of my brain. So empathy without boundaries is just self-destruction. So whenever you wanted to protect your own peace, and more importantly, how do we make sure that we never become the toxic envious friend, here are some science-backed protocols that you can follow if you would love to. So first is starve the loop. So it's called the gray rock method. If you have a frenemy, you cannot entirely escape. Just like you really love your job, but this friend is always there in the office, or your sister-in-law, or someone that's near to you. You use behavioral extinction. You have to cut off her supply. So how do you cut off? It's very simple. It's a psychological tool called the gray rock method. When she makes a passive-aggressive comment, you show zero emotional response. That one is so hard, you know?
Yeah.
But everything takes practices, right? So I guess if you practice more in like 5 times or 10 times, you basically will feel nothing already,
Yeah.
I guess, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a way. And second is protect your vagus nerves. So it's called psychological abundance, where when a frenemy attacks you, your own nervous system wants to give into fight or flight mood. So you absorb her toxic energy, your cortisol spikes. You need to intentionally signal to your body that you are safe. Okay, just remember you are safe. You're okay. You don't have to fight. You can do this by stimulating your vagus nerve. Before and after you interact with this person, do a psychological sigh. 2 sharp inhales through the nose, followed by a long, slow exhale through the mouth. Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I tried that a few times. I don't know if it worked before.
Is that helps?
Well, I tend to just either go to the next room and just punch a wall. Yeah, that one helped me a bit more.
Oh, really? Then the breathe
Then
in,
breathing
breathe out.
yeah.
Okay. I think the breathe in, breathe out, I have not tried before with people who annoyed me or frenemy. I have tried for like when I am nervous.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
really helps.
That one helps. Yes,
yeah,
I
it
agree.
really helps.
I
Yeah,
agree,
when
I
you
agree.
breathe in, breathe out for a few times, then instantly you're like, oh, I
You're
feel
a bit
so
calmer,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct.
Because you
That's true.
got more oxygen in your brain.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And you think more calm, right?
Mhm,
When you think more calm, then it helps you to be less nervous, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah,
right?
correct.
Yeah, so I think you can try as well if you're having a frenemy. Maybe we can try next time
Yeah.
for our frenemy.
Let me go find one first.
No, I think you just have to realize one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you never realize, right? Yeah, you don't
I
have
guess,
to find. Yeah,
yeah.
you have to realize someone.
Or they're just enemies.
Yeah.
That one I have.
Okay, so the enemy, you can just go and find him, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
bro, I need you.
I need you.
And then go in front of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna breathe. Oh, okay, it worked, bro. Okay,
Oh, it works. Bye. I don't need you anymore.
ciao.
That's so funny. So yeah, this breathe in, breathe out, it might work. It might work for you. I'm not sure it works for me, but it works for me for my nervous system when I'm nervous. So you can try out shifting your nervous system out of the trauma response or keeping you grounded in your own reality. So this is the second way. And now comes the third, which is rewire your brain for compression. So here we come with this very interesting topic, which we heard from Aileen Gu. If you have watched her video before, it's about neuroplasticity. So basically you are switching your brain and you're watching how your brain think. So you think what you think is called neuroplasticity. So experiencing genuine joy when someone else success, or in neuroscience there's a rule. Neurons that fires together wire together. So that's how you fix your brain. The next time you feel a flash of jealousy when another woman wins, stop and force yourself to actively, loudly celebrate her by doing this. So by doing this repeatedly, like shout or happy for her, you dismantle your brain's zero-sum bias that we have mentioned just now. Your brain will train you for your reward center to release dopamine in response to other women's success. Actually, I have been actively doing this, honestly. Yeah, like when I see like successful friend, like those successful women, like superwoman, I'm like, wow, she's good, you know?
Yeah.
And then it just instantly make me happier too. I don't know why. Yeah. So now it's explained. So it's a girl thing. If you are happy for people, you're gonna be happy for yourself too. So we are breaking the cycle now. We have to, because the world is hard enough to navigate without us shooting friendly fire at each other. So now, to quote the brilliant Michelle Obama that I've seen before, it's so great. I love this podcast so much. So Michelle Obama once said, "We as women don't have the luxury of tearing each other down because there are enough barriers out there. Honestly, our job is to lift each other up." Because honestly, a lot of women started their job with lower pay, if you realize that.
Yeah.
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 That is already enough, right?
Yeah.
That is a strong barrier for us. So if this episode resonated with you, if you finally feel validated for the silent pain you have been crying up, I need you to do 2 things today. First, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode because we are just getting started right here. And second, take the link to this video, send it to the woman in your life who has never competed with you. That's very important because we are thriving up together to put women force together to make it better. Send it to the friend who celebrates you loudly, who protects your peace, and who proves that true sisterhood is real. Tell her, "Thank you so much, sister. I love you for who you are." And I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep doing your work and mind your own business. I'll see you for the next None of Your Business.